Okay, think back to, say, 2010, the idea of driving strangers around for money. That felt pretty out there.
Oh, absolutely. Revolutionary almost.
And now, fast forward, it's 2025, and strangers are actually, like, paying to hear your thoughts.
Or subscribing to your newsletter, watching you play games. It's a totally different world.
Totally. And look, this isn't just some small tweak in how we work. It really feels like, I don't know, the biggest workforce shift of our generation, maybe.
I think that's fair to say. It's genuinely fascinating watching how fast the definitions of work and career are just morphing for so many people.
Yeah.
We're moving away from those traditional jobs, much faster than I think anyone predicted.
Absolutely. And, well, that's really our mission today on the Deep Dive. We want to unpack this whole evolution. We're going to take a proper deep dive into this journey from what everyone called the gig economy into this huge, sometimes kind of wild world of the creator economy. Our goal here is really to pull out the key stuff, the most important insights from all the research, and just give you a shortcut to understanding this huge change.
Yes.
The opportunities, but also the realities.
Yeah, and whether you're actually doing independent work yourself or maybe building something online, or honestly, even if you're just curious about where work is heading,
Right.
this deep dive is definitely for you. We'll get into how people are earning, how they're building these, well, careers, I suppose, and what having a job even means now. It's really about the shifts in, like, power and value.
Okay, so let's kick off where this modern story really starts. Yesterday's hustle, right? The gig economy.
The starting point for many.
For so many people, that was the first real taste of working for themselves independently. What was the big draw? What was that siren call that just pulled everyone in?
Well, the appeal was just undeniable, wasn't it? I mean, first, the promise of extra cash, supplemental income,
Sure.
then that amazing idea of work when you want scheduling, freedom.
Yeah, the flexibility pitch.
Exactly. And maybe the biggest thing, super low barriers to entry. He didn't really need special qualifications, right?
Yeah.
Not to drive a car or deliver someone's dinner. It opened up earning, like, immediately for lots of people.
That promise was just so powerful. But under that shiny surface, there was a darker side for a lot of folks, wasn't there? It often felt like, well, like a race to the bottom.
It did, yeah.
What was the sort of fundamental economic trap baked into the gig economy, and how did realizing that start to, shift how people thought about it?
I think the trap really was this insidious commoditization of your labor. Your skill, whether driving or writing or designing, it just became this interchangeable unit.
Like a tog.
Exactly, stripped of its unique value. And that created this huge power imbalance, The platform held all the cards, not the person doing the work.
Right.
So it wasn't just that your income was unstable, though it often was. It was deeper. It was the erosion of your professional identity, the feeling that you were just building someone else's platform, someone else's empire.
It's not your own thing.
Not your own assets, exactly. And that feeling, that sense of being replaceable, I think that's the core insight. That's what really pushed people to start searching for something different, something more.
Yeah, that feeling interchangeable, like you said, building someone else's dream. It really sets the stage for why something new had to emerge. Which brings us right to, well, the dawn of creation. A real paradigm shift, I think. We went from being these sort of anonymous service cogs to recognized individuals. How did that happen? How do we go from just doing a task to offering, like, unique value?
It was really powered by two things, fundamentally. Personal branding and finding your niche content creation.
Okay.
So instead of being just a driver, you could become the expert on, say, vintage synthesizers or keto baking or whatever it was, sharing your unique perspective, your skills, building an audience around you specifically.
And then the platforms arrived, right? YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Substack. When you look at how they changed things, what was the truly revolutionary part beyond just, reaching people?
Yeah, I think the real game changer, the absolute core of it, was the promise of ownership.
Ownership.
Yeah. Today's creators, they generally keep direct control over their audience relationship, that list, that community. It's theirs. And maybe even more importantly, their intellectual property.
Ah, right. The actual stuff they make.
Exactly. The videos, the writing, the music, these aren't just one-off gigs anymore. They're seen as assets. Things that, unlike that gig work, can actually grow in value over time. You're building something that belongs to you.
Not the platform.
Not the platform. That's the dream, anyway.
Wow. I mean, that really feels like a massive shift in power, doesn't it?
It is.
From being, like we said, cog in someone else's machine, individuals are now kind of building their own little kingdoms, thought by thought, post by post.
Yeah, piece by piece.
And this new direct power, it obviously translates into totally new kinds of opportunities and just wildly different ways of making money, these business models.
That's a huge differentiator from the gig economy, which was usually just one income source, right? The task pay.
Right, per ride, per delivery.
Exactly. Creators now have this potential for diversified revenue. It's not just one thing. They might earn from sponsorships, selling merchandise, getting direct subscriptions or memberships from their audience.
Like on Patreon or Substack.
Precisely. Or creating and selling digital products, courses, templates, ebooks, you name it. So you're building multiple streams, often overlapping, and that can create a much more resilient financial base. Hopefully.
And it's not just about the money changing hands, is it? It's also about building a community.
Crucial point, yeah. That direct engagement with your audience, it builds loyalty, real connection. And that loyalty often translates into sustained support, sustained revenue. It moves way beyond just one-time transactions. It's ongoing. That makes the income, ideally, more predictable, more robust.
And it also means you could just bypass the old gatekeepers, right?
Completely, or at least that's the idea. Individuals can now potentially reach a global audience directly. You don't necessarily need a thumbs up from a traditional media company or a publisher or a record label anymore.
Wow.
If you have something unique to say or a skill to share, the world is potentially right there, listening, watching, reading directly.
That's such a powerful, democratizing idea. But I wonder, does that shift also create new kinds of gatekeepers? Like the algorithms, or the pressure to just feed the platform beast, even if it's not quite authentic.
That's an excellent point and a definite tension, yes. While the old gatekeepers might be gone or weakened, new ones absolutely pop up.
Right.
Algorithms are huge. They control visibility, who sees your stuff, and that pressure to constantly produce, to feed the machine, that can absolutely create its own kind of confinement, sometimes pushing creators away from, their actual voice.
Okay, so what this really means for you, the listener, whether you're thinking about starting something or just trying to understand this shift, is that these doors are genuinely open. If you have a unique voice, a niche skill, even just a story people connect with.
The potential is there.
But, and it's a big but, like with any big opportunity, there are always pretty significant challenges too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Navigating this creator landscape isn't easy. It comes with a whole set of tough realities.
Like what? What's the biggest hurdle?
I think the first massive one is just saturation, content saturation. You're trying to get noticed among, what is it now, over 50 million creators worldwide, maybe more.
Wow, 50 million.
Yeah. So standing out requires really sophisticated ways to differentiate yourself. Just being good often isn't enough anymore. You need to be unique, authentic, consistent, and probably pretty savvy about marketing too.
And on top of trying to stand out, you're also fighting those algorithms we mentioned.
Constantly changing.
Right, constantly changing. And the demand to just keep producing content is relentless. Plus, you put yourself out there, you face public scrutiny, the comments.
Yeah, the troll.
It all adds up, and it leads to this really serious, often hidden problem, mental health strain, burnout.
The data on this is just staggering. One study found 73% of creators report experiencing burnout.
73%. That's nearly 3 out of 4.
It really makes you pause, doesn't it? You see the glossy Instagram feed, but the reality behind the screen can be brutal.
It really raises that question, what's the actual cost of this freedom everyone talks about?
Exactly. Because while there's this promise of autonomy, being your own boss, the practical reality for many is intense financial volatility.
Right, the money side.
Yeah. Your income can swing wildly from month to month. There's often no guaranteed baseline, none of the traditional safety nets you get with a regular job, like health insurance or retirement contributions. It can be a real feast or famine cycle.
So, okay, looking forward then, where does this all go? We've had the gig economy, now the creator economy. What's next? What does the future of independent work start to look like?
Well, we're already seeing some interesting models emerge. One is this idea of creator as a service.
Okay, what's that?
It's where you see specialized agencies or collectives popping up. They offer creators both the freedom to create, but also some much-needed structure and support. Things like business management, marketing help, dealing with brands.
So like the benefits of being independent, but with some backup.
Kind of. It recognizes that not every amazing creator wants to be or is good at being a full-blown entrepreneur running every single aspect of the business. It's a hybrid approach.
Interesting. And of course, we have to talk about AI.
Oh, yeah. Can't avoid it.
Its impact feels like such a double-edged sword, almost a paradox.
Totally. On one hand, you've got AI tools that are genuinely empowering creators. Incredible new capabilities for like automating tedious tasks, enhancing video or audio, even helping generate ideas.
Right, speeding things up.
Definitely. But then, the other edge of the sword, AI is also threatening to potentially displace certain types of content creation altogether.
Like basic articles or simple graphics.
Maybe it raises these huge fundamental questions about what human creativity really means going forward and how we even define original work when AI gets really good.
That's a big one. So if we pull back, look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What does sustainable, independent work look like down the road?
I think it's going to increasingly depend on community ecosystems. It feels like a move beyond just the solo lone wolf entrepreneur
Right.
towards more collaborative networks, shared resources, mutual support. Success might not just be about your individual talent, but about the strength of your connections, the health of the community you're part of.
So collaboration becomes key.
I think so. Building those networks, those ecosystems.
And ultimately then, the people who really thrive, the most successful independents in this next phase, they'll be the ones who can blend those creative skills with real tech fluency.
Got to understand the tools.
Yeah, got to understand the tools, AI included. And crucially, that knack for genuine community building. It's not just one thing.
It's the blend. It's mastering all three, really. That seems to be where the resilience will come from. Creative chops, tech know-how, and community connection.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the journey we've traced here.
Yeah, let's pull it together.
We started with the task-based gig economy.
Right.
Right. That promise of flexibility, but the often harsh reality of being commoditized.
Right. Then we moved into the creator economy, which is much more multifaceted, built on personal brands, owning your audience, diversifying how you earn money.
And we've also peeked ahead, seeing hints of what's next, maybe more structured support like creator as a service, the huge complex impact of AI, and this growing importance of community and collaboration. So the core takeaways for you listening are pretty clear, I think. There are massive new opportunities out there for individuals. There's been a real power shift in terms of owning your audience and your work.
But, and it's a significant but, there are also very real challenges, often hidden ones. Saturation is intense, the mental health toll is serious, and financial stability is definitely not guaranteed.
Right. So maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
Given all these challenges and the way things seem to be heading, how might you personally start to reimagine what job security even means in a world where, yeah, your thoughts can literally be currency?
But perhaps your community, your network, that's your real bank.
Exactly. Something to ponder as you think about your own path or just watch how this whole world of work keeps changing around us.
Definitely something to think about.
This has been The Deep Dive.